Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Holton Talks. My name's Scott Acton and I'm joined today by Aaron Acton.
All right, boys, how are we?
And Jamie Acton.
You right?
Yeah, very well. How are you two?
I'm all good.
Good. Obviously, all in a good mood after a joyful afternoon at Villa Park yesterday. Great result. We'll get straight into it. Good 2-1 win. First half wasn't as good. Second half, though, much improved, and we come out probably deserved winners. Jamie, thoughts on the game?
Like you said, first half we were poor. I think apart from Ollie had a shot blocked from Cucurella and then had the one saved by Jorgensen. I don't remember us causing them much danger after those two chances. It's far too much respect for them in the first half. Just let them play, and then complete change second half. Pressed them high. I think I pointed out to you as it was you and my old man pointed out to that when Jorgensen had the ball or when Colwell had the ball from a goal kick, we literally had a bank of four ordinarily camped on the edge of their box ready to press straight away. Whereas the first half we just let them play. And yeah, so much improved second half. And like you said, I think overall, we probably just edged it.
Yeah, definitely. Azzy, what do you think?
Yeah, same as you two, really. First half, I think we couldn't handle their tactic first half, but they didn't have an out-and-out striker. I think they were causing us a bit of problems because Neto was switching money to the left, right, middle. I think Konza spoke on Villa TV after that there was a bit of trouble in the first half. Who's picking up Neto and who's not picking up Neto. So I think we sorted out second half and Rashford coming on, massive difference as well.
Yeah, I thought Enzo Fernandez was the one that was causing us a lot of trouble. He just picking up so much space. For whatever reason, the Uriel Guinea just couldn't really seem to get hold of their three. And I don't know if that's because Asensio was in there, but Enzo had bloody so much space. And
he did, but I don't know if that was because Neto was moving, if you know what I mean. So Neto was causing problems and pushing back.
Yeah, Neto did cause us obviously a lot of issues. Like you said, Jay, I think so much respect. We were giving them far too much respect in the first half. Didn't get close. They obviously had a good goal from their point of view. Obviously, Neto gets down our left-hand side and their right-hand side. But, I mean, shouldn't have a free man in the 6-yard box, should they?
No, I think as pointed out as well. I think you can't see it on the telly, but in the ground, Enzo actually runs off of Guinea and then ends up unmarked in the box as the ball gets played across.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he runs off, Cashy's got two to pick up, hasn't he? Cashy sort of goes with the far back post.
Yeah.
The ball over the top. It's just the ball into the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get into the team news then. Obviously, Cash was back in. Konsa was back in. Matson in as well. So 3 changes across the back line. JJ back in for Rashford. What we weren't. We were obviously talking about it before the game. Not really expecting that many changes. I don't think. Konsa obviously fit. So obviously, I think if he was fit, he was going to play. Harsh on Garcia that he was dropped. I did call that before the game and said I thought Cash would start just because he's a bit more experienced. And then Matson coming in. I don't know if that's just to freshen it up, but he seems to get thrown. He got thrown in against Arsenal and was shocking, and then gets thrown in against Chelsea. And loves putting him in against the big team.
And also, Digny's a better defender.
Yeah.
So you think it would be the other way around. Digny would start against the so-called better teams when we got less of the ball, and Matson would start when we got more of the ball against the lesser teams.
Yeah.
The only reason I thought about Matson was that with JJ naturally comes a lot more inside. He doesn't necessarily start on the chalk, so because he's naturally basically as a second 10, there's that whole line there that Matson can bomb on forward. Whereas obviously Luke Dean is obviously always stays a little bit deeper. Obviously, it's the difference between Rashford and Ramsey. Rashford always hugs the touchline, and Ramsey naturally sits a little bit more narrow. So that could be the only reason why I thought, because obviously you got Matson's legs to get on the overlap every time. But that was the only thing I could think of because, like you said, I think Digno's been one of our better players this season, and it was a surprise with the fact that he worked with Matson.
Yeah. So first half, we obviously had a couple of chances after they took the early lead. Nothing, I'd say, too clear cut. Ollie's had a couple of half chances. But then obviously second half he makes a change. No dicking about. Gets Ramsey straight off. It couldn't really get in the game. Rashford comes on, and it was just an absolute world of difference. Direct, powerful, quick. Obviously everything that we know Rashford can do, but just nice to see him do it in a Villa shirt. Yeah, Jay.
He created space for us as well, didn't he? So when he holds the touchline, I don't know if you saw second half, Sensio found space between Chelsea's right back and centre back. Whereas when Ramsey's playing, obviously he drifts in with a space on the outside, which weren't working.
Yeah, I mean, good.
So freed up Asensio a bit.
Yeah, good to have different options. Ramsey obviously wants to play a lot more narrow than what Rashford does, and we were probably getting more joy having more natural width coming from there than what we were obviously in the first half. But how do you think he played, Joe?
What, Asensio
No,
or Rashford? I thought he played really well. I thought probably our player of the match overall for the whole round performance. I thought from the as soon as he came on, he was just electric, and it's just like it says about the quality. Every time he gets it, it's just he gets everyone off their feet, and it's just he's so direct with his runs, and it's just all round. It's just so far. It's just ticked every box. He's tracking back when he needs to. He's an outballer as well because of his build. We saw that especially against Tottenham in the FA Cup. You can just you have the option in behind for him or to chest the feet. And yeah, it's overall good display. And I think on the last pod we done, the last episode, we spoke about his set pieces, and I think it took us all by surprise how good his delivery is. And the Bogard penalty appeal, which I think we'll get onto a little bit later, that comes from his set piece, putting it right on the money again, right on the penalty spot. So yeah, and I think I said to Ant on the way out that you happily pay someone 350, 400 grand a week if they're putting in performances like that, and a player of that quality, if we can tie him down permanently, obviously, albeit qualifying for the Champions League, Europa League, etc., it'll be one hell of a signing.
Yeah, he's not really put a foot wrong yet, has he? And as he in terms of Asensio, I mean they weren't the best of goals either of them, but you got to be in the right position to score.
Yeah, it's just experience. I didn't think he was too involved in the actual match itself. He was just sort of involved in our key moments that we had in the match.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just I think I said to you, didn't I? Does Rodgers score in 2 goals if he's playing in that 10 row? Asensio scored, I don't know. But just, yeah, someone experienced, he's done it, been there and done it. And
yeah,
lucky with the second one, but
yeah. Poor Chelsea.
um,
I'm not gonna. I say poor Chelsea like I give a shit about Chelsea, but obviously Robert Sanchez is absolutely terrible, and Jorgensen comes in and well, he's second one, shouldn't he? If that was Villa goalkeeper, you'd be spitting feathers.
Yeah,
Do we,
that's what's so poor about like Chelsea. I'm bamboozled the fact that they spent $1.25 billion and they haven't been able to sign a top level goalie. Like you said, Sanchez has been awful this season, and Jorgensen's come in. He made, I think, the Matoma goal against Brighton. He should have got to the first one, and then again last night that Asensio second goal. We just fumbled it completely, and like I said, to spend that amount of money to not have a backup striker and to not have a goalie that can actually save with his hands, it's poor from their half.
yeah. Like I said, I think if it was if it was Villa, you'd be spitting feathers. You'd be like, oh, what such a shit way to the game,
Oh yeah, 100%.
But like I said, do we really care?
No, absolutely not.
not at all. Both of them, obviously, Rashford getting 2 assists and Asensio getting 2 goals. We've obviously paid a lot of money for them to come in terms of wages. Already starting to pay that back, has he?
Yeah, I think so. I think Rashford can. Rashford's. It seems to 3 games that he's played better when he come on as well. So getting him back to that fitness once he's back to 100%, I think he'll be flying for us, flying. But I didn't actually realise how good he was cutting down the left on his left foot. Obviously, I didn't watch him much, only when United played Villa. But he goes on the outside more than what he cuts in as well, doesn't he? He's just as good.
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't say shocked because same as you. I'd watch bits of it if United were playing and when he's played against Villa, but uh, yeah. So I'm surprised. Maybe surprised is the right word. I think he's probably better than what I realised. And again, the sample size is
Definitely.
so time will tell over the rest of the season. But been absolutely electric so far.
It's just cultures and environments. I think we spoke about it on our first pod about the Sassy and Chelsea and the fact that none of us expected him to be as good with the ball at his feet as what he has been, and it's the same with Rashford. They both come from toxic environments, and Emery's one of the best coaches in world football. If anyone's going to get grind out the best player out of them, it's going to be Emery. So, like he says, for Rashford, the unpredictability. Same thing with Garcia as well at right back. He uses his left foot as much as he does his right, and he's a right
Yeah.
back. It's the same. It's the same with Rashford. When he's coming, you don't know if he's going to cut in or if he's going to go back on his left. And yeah, it's just. Funny enough, speaking about that, I noticed about Cash about obviously using both feet and the unpredictability. I don't know why. It seems that he's better crossing with his left than what he is his right. I don't know if any of you have noticed that.
But
Well, he set up the Watkins one, didn't he, with his
yeah,
left foot?
yeah, the Arsenal goal where Watkins scored was obviously.
Mm.
The thing is, the Cash, he never wants to cross it. And the 2 times recently that he's actually done his favourite bloody thing in the world and doing a Cruyff turn backwards and then actually crossing it with his left foot, obviously the goal for Watkins against Arsenal. And it's the start of the goal, the first goal today.
Leipzig away as well.
Yeah, why doesn't he put the ball in more? I mean,
Don't know.
getting it and cutting back. I know it's part of the game plan. And again, like you said, as I don't know, Conce's interview on Villa TV, he was obviously saying about sometimes the crowd, having a
Yeah.
we've been told this is how we're going to play and the patterns of play, which is fair enough. But sometimes when you're watching it, you just think, just cross the fucking ball in.
There's also a time when there's so much space in front of him to drive.
Yeah,
Um,
cut back.
I did notice a couple of times yesterday he did cut back, play it inside to like Tillemans or McGinn, and make that second run, but he never got the ball.
Yeah,
You don't know what he's being told, do you?
no,
It's a funny one because like he just says that is like we always thought that when he was cutting back, it's because that's what he's been told to do. He's been told to cut back, but then there's been games where he just goes for it. Like he says, Leipzig away, the cross with the left foot. He was bombing on that game. He looked so good. We played a 3 that day, didn't we? And he was basically playing as a right winger.
Yeah.
But then like he says, I always thought like it just depends what kind of mood he's in because then you get someone like Garcia that comes in, who every time he's the complete opposite. It's like Cash is a bit more cautious, will kind of keep it and retain it, whereas Garcia's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to try basically from my own half. I'm just going to run and try to get to the opposition's pylon and try to get across in. They're complete opposite right backs from what I've seen so far. But yeah, Cash coming back, like I said, I don't know if he's been told to do that because, like I said, Garcia's coming on and been doing the complete opposite. So I have no
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
I don't know what you two thought. Tillemans and McGinn looked a bit slow yesterday, a bit tired.
yeah. Well, the last pod that me and Jamie did, and you're asking them to go again and again at the moment, and like
Yeah, exactly.
there's tough, and obviously we get one back in Consa. Mings gets injured, so Bogart's then having to back. Maybe he could have come on a bit, a bit later on in terms of mixing up and changing him and putting him into a holding midfield. The sooner we get Barkley or Onana or Kamara back, obviously the better. Just to freshen it up in there.
Yeah, I think obviously like Boober is a big one. Like, I think I've said before, I rate him so highly. I think he's our best outfield player. Going back to about you said about Guinea and Yuri, Emi Martinez and Yuri are our only two players to have started every game this season so far in the Prem. And you think we're deep in the FA Cup, we're deep in the Champions League, and yet them to have still played every single game. And you have to think we've had games that were like Leicester at home, Ipswich at home, Southampton at home, and yet these guys are still playing. Whereas you look at the other clubs, obviously that are in the Champions League, I'm sure they would have been resting players in these sort of games, but we haven't been able to do that with the injuries we've had, and it's gone so unnoticed by everyone, and that's partially to do with Emery, because Emery has never once come out in a press conference and said, "Look, we've got basically like 7 or 8 starters here that are all injured, so now we're relying on a 21-year-old Bogard, and now we're relying on a 21-year-old Garcia." He hasn't said that whatsoever. Where you get other managers that all like obviously you had Klopp all the time he was at Liverpool moaning about the 12:30 kickoff, saying about my players ain't got no time to rest. They had that season behind closed doors. They got all the injuries, and then Postecoglou is another one. Arteta's another one. Whereas Emery doesn't ever bring it up.
Yeah, they're just moany bastards, aren't they?
Yeah, I know.
The others. Let's just talk on the other subs actually, because I mean, again, in our lifetime we've ever really seen this. But Watkins comes off, and Rogers come off. I think you picked up a bit of a knock, didn't he? But to bring Marlon on and Marlon on as one, and Leon Bailey was obviously really well, wasn't he? Just we got so many options now in attacking areas just to freshen it up.
Yeah, it's a joke the amount of talent we've got, and again, we said it before, but I think you got 7 players there in forward areas. You got Marlon, Watkins, Rashford, JJ, Asensio. You got
Bailey.
Bailey. Is there
Rashford,
one other?
right?
Yeah, and it's just that talent is so like no other Prem team has that. You got 6 or 7 players there that would start for teams in like every team basically in the top 8. And you know we're in such a fortunate position to have that available, because that's what you need when you're going for. At the moment, we're trying to get top 4, so that's one. You got FA Cup, that's the second one, and you've got we want to go as far as we can in Champions League, so that's the third one. We're competing on 3 fronts right now, and if everyone's fit, we have depth in good areas, and it's just getting everyone fit and getting that whole squad back together. Because at the moment we're looking so good in attacking areas, whereas defensively and especially in the double pivots in midfield, we're very lightweight at the minute. We just need to get bodies back.
Yeah,
I thought Bailey done alright when he come on.
yeah. Bailey did okay.
Oh,
Marlon did well. Obviously at 1-1, Rashford slipped in. He had that half chance. Probably should have dinked it more than gone for
yeah, bit close to the keeper, wasn't he?
power. I think if that was on his right foot, he probably dinks it. But I really like Marlon. I so sharp. I know we
Yeah,
obviously
me too.
yesterday, but he looks so sharp, Marlon. I think I said on the last pod he's going to be such a good player for us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
100%.
last thing. It's the last thing you want as a centre half pair, and having someone like Marlon to come on, because he can hold the ball up, and he, like I say, he's so sharp. He can run in behind, and yeah, as a back line, that's the last thing you want is Watkins, who occupies a back 2 so well, to then have Marlon, who can do the exact same. Yeah, so it's defender's nightmare.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
look at when
Go on.
we're injury free, you look at our strongest 11. It's got to be our strongest 11's got to be up there with top 3, top 4 of the league, isn't it? Starting 11 wise.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I agree with it.
I think also it's not a starting 11 game anymore, is it? It's a
No, it's not now.
game, and in terms of squad depth, yeah, we, definitely got one of the best depths going. Yeah, injuries are killing us, aren't they, for certain areas. But what can you do? It's just part and parcel of it. In terms of the victory, though, much they won it because Fulham obviously lost. Bournemouth lost. Chelsea lost. Obviously means that Still not sure if we'll make the top 4 or 5, but I mean, it puts us kind of back in amongst it. Obviously played a game more than most now, but yeah, they've got to win the games in hand.
Yeah, exactly. If we continue this form, I think it's our last 5 fixtures. I showed you yesterday, didn't I, Joe?
Mm.
They're all against teams from like 10th to first place, apart from Man United last game of the season, obviously. So if
Yeah,
we can go to the last 5 games, 3 or even 2, 3, 4 points from the European places, we've got a good chance, I think.
yeah,
But like I said last time I was on, this season being the Champions League, I would take Europa League this season.
yeah, yeah, and we'll just probably win the FA Cup this year.
Yeah, nothing big.
Yeah. Last thing on obviously yesterday's game. How shit was the lino?
Mm.
I mean,
So
Terrible.
my dad
I've never seen anyone like it.
he nearly had a heart attack, and I had to keep telling him stop fucking shouting at me because he was adamant that the lino was bent.
listen, he turned round and had a go at you and shout at you. He turned round and accidentally spat in the face, calling calling the referee bent. And then I had a bloke 4 rows back say, "Yeah, he's bent, he's
Yeah.
bent." And then everyone's saying he's bent. And I'm like, I haven't. I said in the car, I was like, no one said someone's bent since line of duty, and now everyone in the whole end saying this line is bent.
He was.
Some of the decisions he made was like there was
Awful.
twice when the ball's gone out of play. Unai was doing his absolute nut for one of them, and then there's one where Bailey kept it in and he put his flag straight up.
Yeah.
Didn't even go out of play.
The only time he put his flag up for the offside was the goal that we scored.
And how
Yeah,
quick did that flag go up?
Oh no,
that's what
I
it
have to
was.
see.
It was about
That's
2 yards on side.
well, Rashford. I think I see after Rashford was like lipping to Asensio saying I wasn't offside. You
Yeah,
know.
what makes me laugh is if the defender's on the other side of the pitch, it's a lot harder. But that defender's stood right in front of him.
Yeah.
He can see where that defender is, and he can see across the line from that defender. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Unless
more I talk about these refs, the angrier I get because honestly, I hate every single one of them. I have no sympathy for any of them. Like you look at the Everton game yesterday as well, and I mean, yeah, Young makes a meal of it, but you've got 2 United players that are holding them back. If that's in the other, like if Fernandez is getting held back by Tarkowski and Braithwaite, you try to tell me they're going to overturn that? No. And
no way.
Ogar's a
yesterday as
playing,
well. Yeah, Bogard as well. Like again, if Sancho's getting pulled back, are you trying to tell me that that's a penalty, or they're going to review it and they're going to be like, okay, yeah, that's a penalty. And I've told you guys my feelings on it before, but I won't get too deep into it. But I hate every single one of them.
Please don't.
I
We
think every
all know.
season we've been like, oh, the referee was shit, and you think can't get any worse than that. Then we go to the next game, and it's fucking worse.
Every
Do
home
you
game
know?
I've been to this season, we've all sang
Yeah,
a
you
rubbish song about the referee.
you could
Every game.
Michael Oliver's supposed to be the best one. That's the worst thing. He's supposed to be the best one they got. They send the best one they've got, and he's still awful. And Craig Pawson, he's supposed to be the second best one they got. And you look at him on Wednesday night.
You're
well,
going to hate me, but I actually don't think he wasn't too bad yesterday, Michael Oliver. I reckon it was a penalty
uh,
in the
Uh
Bogard.
nah,
No, listen, no,
nah.
no. Compared to what we've had so far down Villa Park this season, he wasn't too bad. He was equal on both sides.
no way. Did you not hear the
Nah.
guy me yesterday who loved the sound of his own voice saying that Mike Oliver's a massive twat?
Listen, as if I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Yeah,
I keep quiet.
yeah, keep quiet. Anyway, that's nothing else. Game, good win, good result, keeps the momentum going. Tough game for Palace Tuesday though, so we'll get on to that. Um, obviously last year at Palace was complete heart, wasn't it? Because we'd sealed Champions League and then got absolutely stuffed 5-1.
Mm.
We'll have to be probably a little bit more on it tomorrow. They're playing well as well at the moment. Good win at
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was showing Jamie though on the way back on the way home yesterday. The last 3 games they've lost have all been at home.
which is not
So that
it's quite a tough place to good atmosphere there.
yeah, it is, but it shows their form is a lot better away from home than at home at the moment. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
go
It's
on, Joe.
it's no. It's obviously like we sometimes say it's better when for us when teams press us. That's the way we set up, play through the press. Obviously, I haven't watched too much of Palace this season, but it might just be the case that they're just better away from home. They're better playing on the counter. Because at the end of the day, when I think atmosphere-wise, they're one of the best in the league. So when you have that atmosphere behind you, you're going to get on the ball more. You're going to be a bit more brave. Whereas, if you're away anywhere, you're going to, be a little bit more reserved, sit back a little bit, soak up more pressure. So that just might be the way that they're going for, the way that they're set up.
Yeah, I mean they've got some good players. Obviously Mateta is a handful. Eze, I think, is one of the best players. And I love watching Eze. But then you've got players like the right wing back Munoz. I think he scored at the weekend. Like him, good player.
Yeah.
They've got good players all over. We're going to have to be bang up for it. And you are right. The atmosphere at Selhurst is one of the best in the league, especially a night game.
Yeah. I think about Mateta. I think he's got 7 in his last 7 Prem games. I think, and he got the assist for that Munoz goal on Saturday, and
That was a good
his
goal, to be fair.
yeah,
It
like
was very good, Bill.
I feel like Mateta is like very much like people don't actually know how good of a footballer he is. Like the whole again, he's such a good outball because he's got pace to spin, and he's also he's a unit, so he can hold up the ball at Chester with his feet, and it's just he done really well yesterday to dribble through a few Fulham players, then laid it off to Munoz, and obviously he then done the rest. But yeah,
He don't
but
look like
even
a footballer, does he?
no, he don't. But that's the unpredictability side of it. Like it's hard coming up against those types of players, and he even got a disallowed goal. I don't know if you guys saw his disallowed goal.
Yeah, tight, wasn't it?
It was tight, but again, like he absolutely slammed it home, and it's just I feel like he started off at Palace like last chunk of last season. He weren't scoring and yeah, he weren't doing that great, but then he ended the season really well.
But what's
And then,
on it?
eh?
Since Glasner's come in,
Yeah,
he's been really good. Do you know what I like about Mateta is he tucks his shirt in when he plays.
yeah, I know, old school.
Reminds me a bit of a Paolo One Shot.
Oh god, that get me started on Paolo One Choppy.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, do you know who else we always seem to struggle with? Bloody Star. I think he obviously scored when we played him at Villa, didn't he? He always used to score against us at Watford.
you just get those players. It's like Enzo Fernandez on Saturday. Like you get those players that just always turn up. Madison as well. Like you just get these players that just somehow manage to go missing the whole season, and then when it comes to playing Villa, their mortgage is on the line. So
Yeah, they've obviously got a Villa score bonus.
yeah,
Harvey Barnes is another one. He always scores against us, doesn't
yeah.
How do you line up on Tuesday? Do you think he'll tweak it again, or just maybe keep this, Rashford
he?
in?
I think Digney will be back in. If Mings is fit, I reckon Mings starts. Maybe we've got Disasi back, haven't we? So
Yeah, I mean, I know
difficult one.
Sassy obviously would probably both prefer to play on the right, but I wouldn't want to risk Mings. So I would imagine we'd see Sassy and Conser.
Yeah,
Potentially, yeah.
I feel like the Sassy's the only one would be nailed on for me is because Conser for me again isn't fully fit, but he has to play because we have no one else. Same with Mings. That's probably why he pulled up yesterday. He's not ready.
If
The
Mings
game
is
of
fit, could we see Conza right back?
I don't think so, just because I think we've got. Would he bench Cash and Garcia?
no,
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I'm
I
not.
don't think so. I
I'm not.
feel like
We've got options, haven't we? So
I feel like the Sassy would be a must for me. And then again, Esri along with the Sassy. Like I say, I know they're two predominantly play right back and right centre back. I don't know who would go out on the left. But yeah, them two would probably be my go-to ones because I don't think Mings will be ready. And yeah, I thought Bogard done well as well when he came on left centre back. So honestly, even if it was the Sassy and Bogard, I wouldn't be, you know, I wouldn't totally be against that because I thought Bogard put in one hell of a performance when he came on Saturday as well.
I don't
it
think.
wouldn't surprise it wouldn't surprise me if he gives Rodgers a rest. Plays Marlon on the right.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was about to say that as well.
It just looks like he needs a rest, doesn't he? Rodgers at the
Yeah,
moment in time.
he's clocked up some minutes this season, and he went off injured. But I don't know if any of you spotted after the game when the camera was on Asensio. He asked Rodgers about his injury, and then Rodgers turned around and said, "No, it'll be all right. It's just a little knock. I'll be fine." So I
He's,
reckon he'll be in the squad, but I don't reckon he'll start.
he's always hobbling at some point, Rodgers. He is, though, isn't he?
He gets battered every week, that's why.
I know it was a bit of a naughty tackle. I think Rashford in from the start.
100%. Has to be.
Yeah, Rashford's got to play. I feel like we need, for me, Rashford. I'll probably go with Asensio in the 10, Marlon out on the right, and then Watkins up front. I'll probably go.
I'm telling you now, there's no way Rodgers doesn't start. If Rodgers is fit, Emery's starting him.
Well, you reckon Rodgers will play?
Yeah, if he's fit and he's not got any issues, Emery won't drop him. He loves it. He loves Rodgers.
That's the problem. That's if he's fit. I don't think he'll be fully fit.
Obviously, yeah, we won't know that until the time. But you
Mm.
see, even he's not as good out on the right, Rodgers, because he can't really get in the game. But Emery loves him.
He
Whether
does, but
or not.
do you think Rodgers and Asensio can play as a right wing and a 10 together? Because Rodgers drifts in so much playing on the right.
Well, that's when they've
It's
got to be clever to work out themselves. I just think Asensio is he's such a nice footballer to watch, but Rodgers plays if he's fit. End of. Whether that means him being out of position slightly, he's going to play him.
I think.
I just
I
feel,
think.
just feel like he needs a rest.
I think the. For me, if Rodgers isn't 100%, I wouldn't start him just because, we're talking about the depth and talent that we have. We have to use it. I think, and then going back to, I think you said as about Guinea and Yuri being knackered. That's all we've got in the minute. Obviously, they said Barkley and Onana, and I think Booba's a bit far away, so is Onana. But I don't know. Booba and Onana are away. I don't know if Barkley might be fit by Tuesday. I'm not sure. But I feel like I don't know if you noticed yesterday with Asensio, he was kind of blocking. He was kind of trying to do the job on the pivots, just basically trying to shadow the play. I feel like we're going to basically need whoever's in that 10 role, whether it be Asensio or Rodgers. They're going to need to do a similar job because they look their midfield has been good this season. I think Will Hughes has arguably been their player of the season this year. He got another assist on Saturday. Takes practically all their set pieces. I feel like we need to stop him from playing. If we stop him from playing, then it was a similar thing to what Dougie Luiz was for us last year. If you stop Dougie from playing last year, we struggled to break teams down. I feel like if you can make Asensio sit on Will Hughes, then I reckon we'll be all right on Tuesday.
Yeah, I reckon if you were just a random person watching this and you were comparing Douglas Luiz to Will Hughes, they'd be laughing. But I'm sure if you're a Palace fan or you've watched it, then you'd agree.
Yeah, they would do.
Yeah, underrated Will Hughes. I mean, obviously getting on a bit now. But Palace are just well organised, didn't they? They know what they're doing. Glasner's a good manager. They got threats, so we'll have to be bang on it. But again, we just need to just try and churn out a victory.
Yeah, it will be hard because we struggle to keep clean sheets as it is, and they're going to be, I think they won five out of the last 10 they have. I know they've lost, they've had 3 losses at home in that run, but they're going to be buzzing, especially off of that win on Saturday. So yeah, but then we're at that stage of the season now, and we're from our results earlier on in the season where the West Ham's at home, the Bournemouth's at home, the Ipswich is at home, where we're now having this can't be, oh yeah, I'll take a point. Like we have to win on Tuesday if we want to get top 4, top 5. And it probably will be top 5. I saw the coefficient points. I think we're something, let's say top 2 coefficient. I think we're like 27,000 points clear of third place. So it should be top. It should be top 5 this year.
I
And there's
think
something.
in a second, they have 3 teams knocked out of Europe, didn't they?
I think
So,
Atalanta going out was a big blow for
mm.
coefficient, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So unless something catastrophic happens and all the English teams get knocked out in the next round of Europe, then yeah. But it'll probably be top 5, and we need to win on Tuesday if we are to get top 5.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. What we going for?
Oh,
3-2 Villa.
no clean sheet, so I'll probably go 3-1.
Yeah, like it. I'm just going to say I went 2-1 Villa for the Chelsea game, so that's plus 10 points. James, none, and Aaron, you're on 0. You know.
Oh, brilliant.
So, Adley, what are you going for?
I'll go for 3-1. I didn't know you were doing a points
I didn't realise
system.
we were doing the point system.
Yeah, I
This
know.
should be starting from this week.
I feel like I've been shafted.
I got the correct score on Saturday. We'll kick it off. Aaron 2-3, and I'm going to go for 2-1 Villa.
4-2-1.
4-2-1
What's
again.
the bonus points for
4-2-1.
first goal scorer for Villa?
Huh?
Bonus points for first goal scorer?
First goal scorer, I'm going to go Rashford.
Jay?
The sassy.
Yeah.
Yuri Tillemans.
Yeah, two of them. All right. Well, wait and see. Hopefully, we can get another 3 points, and we'll be back on Wednesday. Boys, thanks for your time. Up the Villa as always.
Not with that.
Up the Villa boys.
We will be back on Wednesday night to talk about Cardiff Friday, and obviously, hopefully, talking about another 3 points in the bag for Villa. Thanks for
Cheers,
listening.
boys.
Like, subscribe, do all that stuff, and try and get the pod out if you can. That'd be much appreciated, and we will see you soon.